Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back through daily crypto news and analysis, and today we're going to be talking about QNT, or Quant Network. As you guys know, it's pretty much one of the only few green assets right now currently in the market. It is up currently about 6.64%, sitting at about a $171 evaluation currently. And ultimately speaking, this has been one of the assets that I've been holding for a very, very long time, since like around the summertime. If we're going back to when I really kind of purchased it, was around this point back here. It was like pretty much around like the $30 level. It was pretty much like around May where that major dip happened. Shout out to Anders. He actually put me onto QNT, and this has been one of those major altcoin gems that I've been doing more and more research on and finding so many more connections to it, especially in terms of the leading names around this space, meaning more so the CBDC market, payments, stuff like that, cross-border payments and all that kind of stuff. QNT, in my mind, is going to hold a very large part of that market in terms of its network of networks interoperability. So with all of that in mind, before we fully jump on into this video and continue on, if you guys could please leave a like on this video, it does help the channel grow immensely. I cannot tell you guys how much it really does help the channel grow, and I do greatly appreciate it. And with all of that in mind, let's kind of move forward and let's actually look at this. So I do report a lot on the holders tab. We are seeing a little bit more accumulation happening on the 7-day span here, and on the 1 month span you can really kind of zoom out and really kind of see this kind of continuing on after that sell-off initially in November. Now this has been in a solid decline, don't get me wrong. If you guys do see here on the 3 month span, this looks pretty rough, right? But during this entire time, okay, there's a few things that are interesting. First off, we do see this. So Coinbase is really telling people that QNT is a 94.7% sell. This is funny. I remember when, excuse me, I remember when my one friend that I got into crypto initially got in. He would actually follow the trading activity percentages on Coinbase. That is a terrible way to look at things. When things are bearish, that's when you should technically be buying. And when things are bullish, that's when you should technically be selling. And when I say that, I mean when people are very greedy, sell. When people are very fearful, buy. So this is actually quite the opposite, but I thought that this was funny to say the least, that Coinbase is saying, hey, 94.7%, you should sell. While when we look at what whales are doing, the top 1% addresses, look at the accumulation happening within the price. And trust me, people were buying even at the topping point of about $400. So in my mind, whales know what's up with QNT. There's going to be a massive, in my opinion, supply crisis with QNT. The more and more supply that is bought up, the less and less there will be. I've talked about this. I've discussed it multiple times on this channel. So pay attention to that. Now we do see here 6 years of dedicated work, one of the biggest developer communities in the world, and tens of billions of dollars couldn't make Ethereum scale. Meanwhile, QNT is building scalable, interoperable DLT infrastructures for global payment networks, software companies, and governments. Now, I will say this. With this, I wouldn't call it more so a DLT infrastructure. I would call it a DLT network. Okay, because if you guys really look at what QNT is doing, they are building a decentralized ledger network. It's going to connect all of the decentralized ledger networks or technologies together on one network. And what is essentially a DLT? Well, XRP could act as a DLT technology. HBAR is a DLT technology. There's quite a bit of DLTs in this space, but those are mainly the ones that I'm really kind of holding. You could call XLM a DLT. There's a few other ones as well, but QNT really kind of lays this out on their website for you. If you really kind of go and look at their website, you can pretty much see what they're doing. This is going to be, the Overledger network is for more so, enterprise grade use cases, but this is also going to be a major network. First off, we do see here an open business network of DLT of public and private networks connected by the Overledger gateways. This is all of the wires that will connect everything and really kind of power the infrastructure of the future of finance. I've discussed this, I've talked to you guys about it so many times. Look at their partnerships. Oracle, Hyperledger, Nvidia. These are some major names in the game. They should not be overlooked at all. We've been seeing major updates throughout the year with QNT. So many that I could not even tell you how bullish it makes me. All you really have to do is kind of read what they are doing for DLT interoperability and really kind of focusing on the needs for the future, the fit for the future. This is going to prosper us into the future, especially with ISO 222 just around the corner. I suspect that this is going to be utilized on a day-to-day scale. It is going to be absolutely massive when this really does start to scale at a massive rate. And we just hear a wide range of public and permission DLTs are supported by Overledger, which also supports hosted DLTs from providers like Oracle, Microsoft, and Amazon Web Services. I mean, really, all you have to do is just kind of read a little bit, and you could really understand how big this is actually going to be. And of course, you could look at their partners. You could really kind of see what they're working with, like SIA, 570 plus banks. That's huge. Oracle, we've talked about 430,000 plus customers. Like, this is just, and just continues on. Like, if you look into LAC chain, so many connections. Amazon Web Services, we already know. Hyperledger, I mean, this is just, it's crazy that QNT, for me personally on Coinbase, for it to be at like a 90+% sell off, that is just crazy to me. That tells you that retail individuals that do not know this market, that do not know what QNT is actually doing, are just brainless. And I don't mean that in a very bad way. I just think that they are very, uneducated into the idea of these use cases. Yeah, Coinbase can really only give you a little bit of a bare minimum on what QNT actually is doing, but you really need to put the initiative in and do your own research with this to really understand the fundamentals behind Quant. We also here can't wait for this December's bomb. So check this out. So this is actually coming from Gilbert Verdian, and we just hear, we're thrilled about Overledger Network and what it's shaped to be since September. With the help of the community, we've been stress testing gateways, updating protocols, Overledger itself, and gearing for launch. We're getting close to it now and looking at a time in the first half of 2021. So this is a fairly old, pretty much, read. But still, we just hear what people and enterprise can do with Overledger Network as an ecosystem exciting. In parallel, we've been meeting financial institutions, enterprise clients, and even governments to connect to Overledger Network. Our vision is that Overledger Network is going to be a hub that connects the US, China, Latin America, Australia, UK, and Europe to interoperate digital assets and cross-border transactions. I just read that this morning on another video on QNT, but I do want to talk to you guys more so about this. We've had countries approach us to use Overledger Network to enable a data marketplace. Data is the new oil. I've talked to you guys about that in regards to DAG and other assets. For all of their citizens to interoperate and transact identity and data domestically and cross the ecosystem for cross-border transactions. We've done a lot of work with the Treasury and payments and have created our multi-DLT payment channels. I think of it as multi-chain lightning networks across blockchains. We've even managed to bring the enormously high gas fees down and reduce them by up to 93%, streamlining payments for all blockchains. If anyone wants blockchain faster payments, they can come to Overledger Network. Could you imagine Ethereum? Okay, and I just want you guys to understand, here's their solutions. Could you imagine Ethereum coming over to Overledger, building on here, and having, the overall scalable problem solved before Ethereum 2.0 is even launched? That would be huge. And Ethereum could do it because they already have the capabilities for a plug-and-play API. They have the API for Ripple. They have it for Bitcoin. And it is only a matter of time before they have it for pretty much every other DLT. Oracle, Overledger for Corda, Overledger for Hyperledger Fabric, Hyperledger Basu. Even HBAR could plug into this essentially. So this is fairly large. Now, we also look at what was posted on the 10th. So we do see, and now this goes back to November. Our joint white paper with MIT Connection Science, implementing a CBDC, the challenges and solutions, the needs of security, privacy, performance, openness, and interoperability enabled siloed payment systems to evolve to digital assets. The Federal Reserve Bank of Boston announced a collaboration with MIT to research digital currency. the first phase of a multi-year research project the Boston Federal Reserve is doing with the Massachusetts Institute of Technology on the technology that could be used for a digital dollar is nearly done. Gilbert Verdian, good to be back. Boston Fed, where we had many secure payment task force meetings. Great discussions today on our work, digital assets and CBDC. Guys, connect the dots. See what is happening. They are building in silence without any marketing because they don't need to hype this substance up. It's already there. Look at this. They're talking about 85% are now exploring the benefits and drawbacks of CBDCs. This is talking about central banks. They're moving into more advanced stages of CBDC engagement. 60% up from 42% in 2019 are conducting experiments and proof of concepts, and 14% are moving forward to develop and pilot arrangements. The paper looks at the challenges in implementing different types of CBDCs. Of course, the main problem here, okay, is interoperability. I've said it. We've talked about it. Plug and play is the biggest thing for central banks. They don't want to upgrade their entire system. No. Quant solves this problem, and they're fully focused on it. This paper explores the uses of, these distributed ledger technologies in a semi-decentralized way. The reason why they're talking about semi-decentralized way is because these central bank digital currencies, or these central banks in general, want to build these central bank digital currencies on a private ledger, not an actual public ledger. Now, they're saying this interoperability approach modernizes domestic payment systems to work with digital assets and enhances cross-border flows. This is going to be huge. Okay, and I have this open over here. And when we're talking about it, okay, we're seeing, how CBDCs have been around since as early as the 1990s, but it could not come to fruition because they really didn't have the technology. DLTs gave them that technology. DLTs are opening the doors. DLTs are essentially going to be at the forefront of CBDC adoption and building. And what will they need? Interoperability. What provides that need? We already know, Q&T. This is going to be huge. Okay? Implementation requirements. Okay? They talk about what needs to be a thing. Reliably, securely, and at scale necessary for national and international implementation. Pretty easy. A lot of DLTs already have that. Two-tier cash model. As with cash, central banks will manage wholesale interbank payments, and intermediaries, such as banks, will manage payments better between consumers and businesses. And of course, this is pretty much compatibility and process change, usability, rich data, platform for innovation, openness, high performance and scale, privacy and security, implementing a CBDC, a way forward. All right, they still need interoperability. And what fixes that? Quant is going to provide pretty much the boots for these CBDCs to really kind of, walk around. Run at some point in time, of course. But when we're talking about ISO 222 coming at full scale in not even 1 year now, it's like about 11 months from now. Okay, I see Q&T becoming a massive asset in this space. People are going to want to be purchasing Q&T at $1,000, at $2,000, at $5,000, at $10,000. The future for Q&T is not a $200 Q&T. It's not a $400 Q&T. It's not a $1,000 Q&T. Look at Bitcoin. Look at Ethereum. Look at where they are currently at this market. Screenshot this. Screenshot Q&T's price. Put them together. Okay? Come back by the next bull run. Maybe even the next one after that a little bit. And I could almost tell you right now that Q&T will be well worth more than Bitcoin and Ethereum. Q&T has a massive future ahead of it. CBDCs, these financial institutions, these major banks need interoperability. The network of networks is building in silence. There is no marketing going on. Most of the individuals that are in Q&T heard about it from somebody on Twitter, heard about it from a YouTube video, or maybe they just stumbled upon Quant one day and said, wow, this looks like a great investment. They are not doing marketing. There's 12 million in circulation. There is a total supply of 14.6 million. There is less supply of Q&T than there is of Bitcoin, except this actually has a solid, undervalued, overlooked use case that is one of the biggest use cases in crypto to date, and that is interoperability. But with that being said, I hope that you all enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe to notifications on. If you guys want more free content, you guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. As always, I hope that you all have a beautiful day or beautiful night wherever you guys are in this video. It's been Nick. Peace out, guys.